Okay, today I am here sharing with you some of the work that I have done in the past during my uh, doctoral work. I am showing you a collage that I made a few years back on a workshop that was entitled Where is the Graph on Ethnography, right? The word graph on the word ethnography, because I conducted a ethnographic case study in Colombia. And then in this workshop was supposed to help us how we visualize or put into different visual aspects the outcomes or the findings of the research. So this was a very fascinating exercise when you want to play with data and you want to play with what you found out, and in a sense of how to put it in an image that is made out of different bits and pieces from magazines and books and other sort of newspapers, for example. So I'm gonna try to explain to you, number one, that there are alternative forms of um, moving the knowledge, producing knowledge, and sharing knowledge. And this is one of the many ways to do this, which is an artistic way to share what you found out during your dissertation. So a little bit of the context is I went in 2018 to Colombia in South America, the capital, and I spent 8 months with English teachers who were teaching English to um, high school students, mainly 10th grade and 11th grade. And I spend most of the time every day from 6 a.m. in the morning to 1 p.m. In the afternoon with the teachers, but mainly with one specific teacher and one specific classroom in 10th grade. And I exchange with them different ideas, different thoughts. I help them. They share with me their life experiences and the relationship with the English class and the teacher and the curriculum, etc., etc., etc. So I took photographs, I took videos, I did interviews with them, I did a focus group with the teachers and the students as well. And towards the end of the research, well, as I was saying earlier, this is the product of a workshop that I attended, and I'm gonna try to figure it out how I can explain this to you. In a sense, we can see here, and I'm gonna try to use my laser pointer. Yes, this is great. So actually, I'm gonna draw your attention to the center. And in the center, I created the word humanity. As you can see, the word humanity is made out of different letters, cut out letters from different sizes, different colors, different textures as well. I cut them with my hands. I rip the paper out, but I also use scissors. So in a sense, this speaks to the center of the research and the center of the pedagogical approach of the teachers. The center of their work or the curricular approach as well, their projects, their lesson plans, and even their own philosophy of life and their own philosophy of teaching is about humanity. So in other words, the reason why I posted this human or humanity at the center is because the teachers themselves say that their approach to teach English is about the human being, the person, about caring about themselves, the students, their teachers, their communities as humans, and everything they do in the classroom, it's about how can we work towards making a better human, a better humanity, a better world for whole humanity. And that's why the next word below that is matters. Humanity matters. And in a sense, it's also related because we did some discussions about Black Lives Matters, and in the classroom with the students, and they said, yes, of course, black folks are part of humanity, and black folks and Black Lives Matters, and because they are part of humanity, we should care about the most marginalized, racialized communities as well. That's why the center is humanity, but also in relation to Black Lives Matters as well. So these are the two first things that I wanted to draw your attention to in the piece of art that I created, this collage. And the second piece that I wanted you to focus attention is on the upper left part and the lower right part. So in the upper left, we have blue, which signals to the sky, which signals to heaven, which signals to above. And on the left hand, on the right, below part of the piece, we can see fire, we can see darkness, and we can see probably these signals or resemblance of heat, hot, fire, etc. So as you can see, these two distinct aspects of the research was also the dichotomical experiences from teachers and students. On one hand, they believe and they perceive they live in hell. And what it means is outside the school, the students and the teachers perceive that there is violence, there is war, there is conflict out there, and they experience all those sorts of struggle. And because the teachers are Catholic and also they consider themselves Christian, they see we live in hell outside the school and inside, of course, but in general terms, we live in hell, and in hell lives difficult situations. And on the other hand, we see the blue here, which is although we live in hell here, the school has become a heaven or the safe space for students that takes them away from the hell, which is in which everybody's living. And in a sense, the school, the classes, the projects have become a way to counter the violence or the hell that they live on a regular basis. So we can see these two dichotomical spaces here. On the upper left, heaven as a safe space, and we see at the bottom right, hell, which is fire and is hot, as the students mentioned that teacher, is hot out there. It's very difficult to live. It's really hot, so you have to try to struggle for your life. What else should I explain to you? Here in the middle lower part, we see youth, the word youth, and you can see us versus them, and this is very constant among the conversations with the students themselves, the students and the teachers and the whole community. Why? Because they see themselves as we are a racialized community. We are youth who have been sort of being at the margins, because this school, it's actually at the margins of the city. And they say, we live here, and they, the rich or the middle upper class Colombian students, they live in the north of Bogota, which is where the rich people live. And they can see this line in between them. There is this divide in between us and them. And they can see and perceive and feel the inequality in the city, in the system, right? But also with the classes and the teaching of English in the school, they also see themselves as outsiders of the city, that they capture themselves in a changing of a culture. So in other words, they want to change themselves, they want to change their communities so the communities can be more livable as them. These communities are, they want to change their community so they can live sort of in peace, like they perceive those people and those students who live in the middle upper classes in Bogota, specifically in the north of Bogota. They want to make those changes, and although they see themselves as outsiders, they want to change their own culture because they want to live like them in a sense. What else? A few things that I want to point out is also on the left side we see this map, which is resembles the connections, the global connections the students and teachers see themselves doing these projects that seems to be to connect Bogota, the capital, with other parts of the world as well, so they don't see the inequality, the struggle that they see, unemployment, drug addiction, conflict. They don't see it as one thing that happens only here, but they also see, teacher, this also happens elsewhere. So in a sense, they see that this is not only a local problem, but a problem that happens elsewhere. Okay? So another part that I wanted you to point out is these two words, radical visions. And radical visions here refers to the teacher's pedagogical approaches. They consider themselves radical. They consider themselves fighters of the inequality. They consider themselves rebel, and they see that they have radical visions for the future of their students, and they do peace building projects, social justice projects, because they truly believe that this is a radical vision against the neoliberal, capitalist, and global agendas that the government has been put into place for a long time. Also connected with humanity, here at the center is the word connected with love, and here we see a couple, it appears to be a heterosexual couple, and these hearts in the middle, because part of their project of the teachers, they want to bring love into the classroom, they want to bring love into the students, so the students love themselves, the students love the neighborhoods, the students love their city and their country. And by doing so, some of the classes are geared towards learning more about their own culture before learning about the foreign culture. And the teachers and the students themselves say we need to love ourselves first before trying to love what is out there. Okay? And what else should I point you into this attention? On the right part there you see some hands over here of hard work, because the students say that the teachers, their parents, their communities work really hard to fight these hell and violent situations. They fight every day, they work really hard to make ends meet and bring food to the table. And this word, which is in relation to this word over here on the left, the support word, which is about how the parents support each other and support their families and bringing food to the table every week. Another couple of things that I wanted to bring your attention is, as you can see here, there is this sort of youth upside down, similar to these other folks who are here upside down, because the students themselves in the interviews, they say, teacher, we are an upside down community or system or society, because the rich keep getting what they want and we the poor, we don't get what we need. And they see that the system is upside down, the system is collapsing, the system not necessarily pay attention to them. So that's why I put these photographs upside down to signal and showcase that the system is upside down as portrayed by the students. And also on the right, I want to show you these patterns over here, which are some of the Colombian indigenous people's patterns are aware that they have been working on some textiles, which is related to these two words here, distinct perspectives. Because the teachers in their classroom, they want to bring different perspectives from different sides. When they prepare their classes and their lessons, they bring or they prepare lessons that try to bring different points of view from different communities in Colombia, and try to infuse a little bit also of some other perspectives from around the world about teaching English. So all in all, as you can see, the whole artistic rendition of my research depicts some of the themes from the results of the research or the research project that I conducted in Colombia. So number one, humanity at the center of the research project as well. Me seeing myself as a human being in relation to the teachers and the students, and the teachers also seeing themselves human, helping out and supporting the students so they can also see other people as human, humanly possible, and how their projects can support humanity to be better. And another thing related to love education, let's love each other, let's love other people as well. And the last but not least, we can see the word school, because school is related and perceived as the ultimate changer of these distinct perspectives. As you can see here, there is a photograph of a school that, although is there on the right, and it also is in black and white, it's sort of demonstrating to us that the school is a place where the students can learn and understand those different perspectives that that they are trying to learn in the class and in the school and with the lessons. And here we see this person sort of looking at you and looking at the future, and in a sense trying to ask you, what are you going to do from now on to try to make changes that help us grow as humans, right? And that's the conclusion of my presentation today, is about this person looking at you and me telling you, as a person who's listening to this video, what is your commitment to social justice? What is your commitment as a person, as a researcher, as an educator, to make changes that help us all in humanity? Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with that today, my explanation about this ethnographic visualization of what I did in my research. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and if you have some questions, some comments, please let them in the box below. Bye.